which is like construction, and it has two parts because it's a construction project, right? So the major purpose of the whole thing is actually construction, which is a huge measure of the WBS. All the other components are actually something to facilitate this one component, which is construction. The construction here meant or divided into two parts for this highway example. The first one is mobilization. Of course, this is used along all projects, not just the highway. Mobilization is meant to be site setup, temporary facility setup, workforce mobilization. It's commonly used along all projects. Then earthworks and excavation. Here we start to specify our project, which is highway. We start by site clearing, excavation and grading, embankment construction. These are like preparation for actually implementing the highway that is designed on drawings. But it's very important because this is how you can start actually the first foot of the project. Okay, then the pavement construction. This is our king here. It's our main purpose of everything in highway project. Where you start, you lay out your sub-base, base course installation, asphalt layering, or interlock if you have it as an interlock, quality control for pavement. This step comes after all the preparation before, so that you can start laying out the component which you designed for this project, the layers, the thickness of layers, the material specifications, and all related matters necessary here for your pavement construction. After you lay out these things, you can actually start coordinating for drainage and utilities, where you have to storm water drainage installation, utility relocation and installation, erosion and sediment control. These things are the main component of a highway project. When we say highway projects, we didn't mention here the sewer or the water supply, because actually sewer and water supply are like a separated scope of work. It is related in a huge matter, but it's actually a whole different project. So many projects can have those scopes together because they are actually related in construction, related in coordination with each other. But other than that, this scope of highway itself, when we say highway only, is different than sewer and water supply. If we have them together, then it's gonna be named as a project of highway, sewer and water supply. This is the name of the project. You have to mention that you have sewer and water supply because these are two different scopes other than the highway project. Second part of construction for a highway is actually like the added necessary stuff after actually laying out your street, as we can say a street itself, plain street without the attached stuff, which are actually important too. For example, road signage and marking. This is like signage installation, road markings, which are of course comes after laying the street itself, and it has a degree of importance to guide the drivers along the way. It has its own design, own studies, own regulations too, but you have to base it, of course, according to the street that you designed, the layers that you designed, the dimensions that you designed in the first place. Then traffic control and safety management measures, temporary traffic diversion setup, safety barriers and guardrails. These are the necessary aspects that you do on the site to protect the vehicles approaching the site during construction, to protect pedestrians, to protect the lives that are approaching any construction site, because it's gonna be a huge risk for them. Bridge or overpass construction if applicable, foundation and superstructure works, superstructure and deck works. finishing and waterproofing. When we say this bridge and like any substructure related to this, uh, it's actually a component, but it doesn't mainly have to be in all highway projects. Some highway projects have these things, some doesn't. It's not really a necessary element. Final roads and surface finishing, final grading and surface leveling, final asphalt layer and compacting. Here it's mainly mentioned as the second layer of asphalt because in highway projects you actually lay out two asphalt layers, and this has like an important meaning in highway. It's not like you are only adding two layers and that's it. No, you could have added one layer but with the same thickness of two layers, but it is meant on purpose to be two layers because when you add your first layer you have a variance in dimensions, variance in thickness. There could be like more tolerance in the dimensions differences between the drawings and the construction site. So when you have another layer you can correct this difference in tolerance or difference in dimension, and you can reduce this difference between the original grading in the drawing and the implemented grading in the first layer. You can correct the difference in the thickness between the layers implemented in the first layer and the original dimensions mentioned in the drawings. This way you can correct whatever you did in your first layer in regards of grading, leveling and thickness. Testing and commissioning, pavement and service testing, road safety testing. Testing is like the tests and all related tests which you do during the stage of construction and after the stage of construction. For example, core test, which can be done after you finish the construction, or you can just take a core for all the layers for the highway or the street so that you can actually have a better understanding of the layers implemented. Demobilization, I mean. Demobilization is exactly the opposite of mobilization, where you can actually just remove whatever you did in the mobilization so that you can just hand out the project as meant to be for the use of the people. It involves site cleaning up, equipment and personnel demobilization. Quality assurance and control, material inspection and testing, construction inspection, compliance audits, final quality report. It's the quality that you do for the project to ensure that you implemented the project according to the design, to the procurement, to the specification. Then you hand out your report. This diagram indicates the stages that we did and discussed for the WBS, which are 5 components, the major components. These major components are commonly used along all of the projects unless stated otherwise. For example, some projects could actually for somehow has no design stage, but mostly they do. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be not a design, it's gonna be renovations, for example, or decoration, which is also like it's a design but in a different way. It's gonna be meant as engineering decoration, engineering renovation. It's gonna be the same 5 components with a little bit minor difference, but as you go through details and subtitles you will start to make the differences between any project and the other one. The work breakdown structure provides a comprehensive framework for managing complex highway construction project, ensuring all aspects from initial planning to final quality control are addressed systematically. And that's it according to the WBS of a highway project. Clear your mind, construct it. Bye.